Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew, where family's everything.
Until it's not. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Aunt. You are back
I am
from the
back with the
remote
snow.
location.
We have Arctic freeze happening
It's
here in the
freezing.
country.
No, just in Boston. That's all we're talking about today.
Now we're talking about Beverly Hills. It never snows in Beverly Hills
Except,
except in the movie Father of the Bride.
and when Erica's son was missing or whatever, and
Oh,
the snow
yeah, it
crashed.
snowed then
I thought
too.
that's what
That's
you were gonna
right.
say.
No, 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 no. No, I was
I'm
thinking
not.
of
I knew.
Father and the
I
Bride
thought
where they
something
got
was
all
wrong. I
the
kept.
expensive flowers and it snowed the day before. Did you know that
I
it
kept thinking
was
there was something wrong with me, but it's because I can still see myself, and I never do that. So I'm
oh,
hiding
okay.
myself now.
Yeah, hide yourself. Did you know that a vein sticking out of your head was a sign that you were lying?
Lying.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's according to Dorit, the fact that the vein was
Oh,
sticking out of
yeah,
Kyle's
no.
head meant she was lying.
That makes no sense
I
because
know.
When Kyle yelled at Camille,
Yeah.
her line was, "You're such a freaking liar, Camille." So I
I
don't think she
know.
was lying about
So
her
it
being a
was
liar.
kind of funny. Yeah. I mean, I thought my problem is we've had like, what was this, episode 6 or 7?
I
What?
don't know. It doesn't
I
matter.
don't know. Anyways, and this is like the 4th to be continued. And this to be
Yeah,
continued that they started with in the beginning of the episode definitely could have came at the end of last
Oh,
week. And they
absolutely.
could have started fresh with this one with just the aftermath of the little fight that they
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
Yeah, it was too much rolling over from week to week. It's a little getting like Telemundo, you know what I mean?
Telenovela.
Oh, telenovela,
Telemundo's
okay.
a network.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
What, novella?
a soap opera. Yes, in
Yeah, yeah,
Spanish,
yeah, it's
telenovela.
becoming a little bit too much that, a little tell you sure it's not just Nutella?
No, that
Okay,
but
all right.
close. We're getting
Okay,
there.
yeah.
I don't. I have to say that I didn't like Dorit just continuing. Like
Mm,
we're gonna talk about it the whole time. So it's like, let's just say it. Dorit, you are valid to think that over the years, Kyle has controlled you, silenced you. You aligned with that. And
true.
I think that I have seen Kyle interact with a number of people that she doesn't have that effect on. And I'm not saying that it's Dorit's fault. But I'm saying that don't act as if you know, that this like again, like this was very obvious, and people have said, "Oh, you speaking for her, or she's speaking for you," like, and so it's been brought to your attention. Now, I get it. Everyone has a reason. Everyone has a right to be like, "Yeah, I've put up with that too long." But to use this current moment when Kyle's going through a divorce too, it's
Yeah,
so off-putting because what Kyle now is saying is like, listen, like I've apologized, even if it's not as deep, and even if she's still, it's a but she's apologized. That's something Kyle's never done for you before. You've
right,
also never called Kyle out before. This is
right,
progress. Now move
right.
forward and let us enjoy a show.
Ah, well, not only that, I will say though, her now, did you think her texts were more than she let on they were?
Um,
I mean, I didn't like where she said, "Well, I'll never tell anybody anything you told me." That was
same,
unnecessary. I
same.
mean,
And
that wasn't
I don't like that. I don't, it didn't make, it was weird to me. It was like, she's hiding. I don't think that Kyle's hiding anything. I also don't think PK's hiding anything. I think PK probably vented about Dorit over the years.
Mhm.
Plain and
Yeah,
simple.
right.
I don't think that PK is telling Kyle deep, dark things, especially if they're about infidelity, like something like
Yeah,
that,
he's not. No,
because Kyle wouldn't. Yeah.
He might be telling Mo those things, but he's not
Yes.
telling Kyle.
Totally.
But I don't care what anybody says. Kyle would freak out if it was Dorit sending that same text to Mo.
Yes. The difference is Kyle would address it from the start. And so if Dorit did it,
Right.
it would then be going against what Kyle wanted. What I
Yeah.
believe is true about this right now that I think is bothering Kyle the most is that without a camera, Dorit wouldn't care. And that's what Kyle's trying to say. she knew about it. She didn't care. Now there's a camera. She's not saying that because they're on a show and Kyle wants to keep her paycheck coming. But
True.
that is what Kyle's insinuating, and I believe it to be true because I think that Dorit knows that Kyle wouldn't cross those boundaries, and I also think there's a little bit of manipulation in Dorit, and she hopes Kyle would cross those boundaries, and then she's got another 5 seasons in her with a big paycheck.
Well, that's true. Now, when somebody says, I don't know this Dorit, I don't know this person, this is a different person than I knew. Do you think that's true? Or do you think it's you never really knew them, or that the person changes, or you never really knew them to begin
But
with?
this isn't the Dorit we know either as viewers. So
Well,
in this
but I
case,
don't claim to know Dorit.
no, but I think what Kyle's saying is
Because remember,
no, but
all
this
of
is the
these,
Dorit this isn't the Dorit we've seen over the years.
yeah, but don't you think they all have a show face, a recording face, and a filming face, and a
Yes.
face that would they really talk to each other?
Yes, and I think that Dorit is changing her filming face.
Oh, okay. I
So
get
what I'm
that.
saying is that
Yeah,
I think Kyle is exactly what you're saying. I don't think Kyle and Dorit have that other friendship. I think they only have the filming friendship. I believe that. I believe
I
that they are
agree.
like coworkers that go out to
Hmm.
like again, I don't really do this, but that's because I don't really like to like people that much and I only like a select group of people. But
Aw, I
yeah.
feel honored.
But you should feel good. But I know people, it's normal for some people to like to their colleague be like, hey, want to get dinner with our husbands in a couple weeks? Like that don't have
Yeah,
kids,
and
like
become right.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
no.
that's what Dorit and Kyle maybe have done.
Yeah. I can go
And
out to eat with you in a work environment, but I'm not calling you up to go out after if it's not a work environment.
yeah, like for
Yeah, I
example,
get
like
that. I know everybody's different. I
your
don't want to hang out with anybody
I've
I
met
worked
some of
with.
your husband's business, like his employees
Yeah,
at like social things,
right.
which means they're out of the office with
Yes,
their other colleagues at social things.
right.
But that's like again, it's part of the job in a way. And it's like if they're
Yeah,
going to an event, well, maybe we get dinner
yeah,
before.
yeah,
Like,
of course.
who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah. Well, because you got to
Like
invite them to
Bethany, I
places.
think that Bethany went to dinner with the Gorgas or whatever, and it was because they were at the same event or something, which is like
Okay.
strange to me.
Yeah.
But the Gorgas, I bet, just knowing them, they probably
Made
think
it.
they're good friends. And
Yeah.
Bethany's like, we went out to
No,
dinner because we were at the same event. Who cares?
yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, she doesn't have a lot of good friends, Bethany.
We don't know about them because good friends shouldn't be in these spaces. And I think that's what
Well,
Kyle's
that's
saying.
true too.
We only
Okay.
know about Kyle's good friendships because
Yes.
of like pictures we see on Kris Jenner and
Blah, blah, blah.
Resnick
Right.
comes on the show to promote her business.
Yes. Which is good because she
Good
does
for her.
decorate well.
And to be
Um,
morally corrupt.
you know what? I want anybody to tell us how old do they think is too old to want to have a child? I'm sorry. I
Oh,
think 47
oh,
is
I gasped.
I thought you why do you want to have children? You're 47.
Andy said last night on Watch What Happens Live, or no, it was on Tuesday with Cy and
Aaron.
Erin
Yeah.
that Andy asked how the kids are taking Erin being pregnant, and she's like, they're
Yeah.
so excited. And
Yeah.
then Andy was like, I asked Ben the other day, like if he wanted a third, like a sibling, and
Sibling.
Ben goes, no. Lucy's perfect for us, Dad. And Andy was like, it was so sweet that he said that
Yeah.
about Lucy that Andy's
Yeah.
like, I kind of want a third, but he said, I'm aged out.
Oh, how old is Andy? He mid
He
50s?
might be 60,
He's that old, Andy Cohen?
maybe. Oh, maybe.
Oh.
Oh God, Andy,
Yeah.
I love you. But I
I
think
don't
it's
think
because
he's that
you don't look
I
60.
was listening to Andy today, and he was talking about how the young guys don't know how to cruise.
56. Sorry, I'm pretty
Oh, he's
close.
56. I said 55.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right,
sorry,
he's a
I
little
thought he was
older
gonna be
than I
like
thought.
50 when you go 60. I was like, oh God, I insulted the King
No,
Dad
I knew he
Andy.
was a little bit older than that, 50, 50. Because he's like, anyways, it doesn't matter
But I
what
don't
age
get what do you
Andy
mean you
Cohen
aged
is.
out. I think he means more around like
No,
what.
he meant he's 56 years old. To have another child, he'd be 57 years old, almost 60, which means he's
Yeah, he wants to enjoy
legitimately
his life.
85 years old by the time the kid graduates from college almost. He doesn't want that anymore.
Yeah, no, I know someone that has that right now,
Mhm.
who's someone I do business with, and her dad's
Yeah.
dying, and
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
sad.
I
It's
mean, like,
horrible.
I think
And
by
she's
the
at a
time
really
you're
important part of her life. Like,
honestly, for me,
yeah.
by the time you're 60 or so, you kind of like want to be over parenting.
Oh yeah, but I'm thinking like exactly. That's why I say like to Brad, I'm always like 45 is our cutoff, and that's
Yeah.
okay because then it's like I'm retiring and my kid's finishing college, and like great. But I'm not. You can't retire with a college tuition these days. Hell no.
No, no,
And
you
who would
can't
want
do that
to?
at all. So I was surprised that Bose wants a child. She has a
Yeah.
child, but she's got grapefruits the size of, she's got fibroids the size of grapefruits.
Yeah.
God bless her. Now, did you think Kyle came in to try to interject herself?
No, I
I
think the
did. I
production
totally
team,
did.
I
I
think the
agreed
production
with
team sent her a call sheet.
before Bose said it, I agreed that she was trying to weasel her way in a
But
little
Dorit
bit.
went earlier.
Yeah, she did, but Dorit's
I
her
think
real
production
friend.
invited them both over,
Yeah,
sent them both a
probably.
call
Well,
time,
and
and
Garcelle
then they
made
aired
it
the one that
too.
was better.
Now, did you ever in a million years think they would take in Erica Jane to Chuck E. Cheese for her pizza
No,
party?
I loved it
I loved it too. It was
because
one of
we
the
love
better
Chuck E.
things.
Cheese.
We do love Chuck E.
We used
Cheese
to go, like, we had birthday
all the
parties as
time.
our kids.
Yeah,
Like,
you
yeah,
had birthday parties
they have
there.
good pizza, everyone,
They do. They
right
had
when
the
it's out
little
of the oven.
games. It's not the worst place in the world, but I thought it was brilliant
I
to
did
take
too.
her there.
And Chuck E. Cheese, good for you for giving them full access. You didn't blare out anything. Chuck E. Cheese was even there in the flesh. And good
Yes.
for you to all the people in Beverly Hills area that you all were like, yeah, I'll sign that waiver. None of you had your faces blurred. That
The
Chuck E.
only
Cheese was
thing
bumping.
to me that was odd is that I think the rule is Chuck E. Cheese is you have to have a child when you go in.
I think that might be a rule, but they definitely made an exception.
That was
Now
all I was
they
thinking
should have
is
made that
unless they
clear
brought Portia
because
or
do you know how
something.
many like bachelorette parties now are gonna roll up like at Chuck E. Cheese's?
Hey, let's go for it. Chuck E. Cheese needs to start
I know,
getting the
but they should have
beer
had
on
of
tap.
like they should have had like a little thing to go to commercial that says like Chuck E. Cheese
Cheese.
opened special for the Housewives of Beverly Hills. For all normal
They should
patrons, you
have.
have to be with someone under the age of yada yada. Because they probably got people rolling up there being like, "What's
That's a
this
great
all
idea.
about?"
That's a great idea. That's super. They should have, like Buca de Beppo did when Dorit did her Venetian room for them,
Totally.
or
Do you know that
Tuscan room, or
you know
whatever.
that my partner's he and his mother and his aunt left his grandmother loved Buca di Beppo, that same Buca di Beppo, and
Oh,
because they live in that area.
yeah.
And on her 80th birthday, that's where she wanted to go for dinner. And when after dinner they went to get the car and they drove halfway home and left her on the bench right outside the restaurant. And they were
It
like, "Where's
happens.
Grammy? Where's
Oh,
Grammy? Where's Grammy?" And then they
she's
went
back
back
in
and
the Pope room.
they came back 15 minutes later and she goes, "What took you so long?"
She's in the Pope room.
Yeah, in the Capri
Now,
room.
the Capri room. Oh, I've been to one where it was the Pope room, and the Pope, there was a
It was
bust of
there
the Pope.
too. That's like Dorit rebranded.
Yeah, there you go. Were you surprised when Garcelle told Kyle that if she wants to be a lesbian, just be a lesbian?
I was blown away.
I was
I
blown
also
away
like,
that Kyle didn't think there was ever infidelity and it was never an issue.
but
I
you know,
mean,
it's so funny. The paparazzi spotted yesterday Kyle out and about with Morgan Wade,
of
not doing
course.
anything more than like being a foot away from each other. They weren't even close. So they are entitled to go and have a cup of coffee or do whatever they want if they're really friends. It was not incriminating at all, but I just found it funny that like couple days after,
Well,
it
she
was a
might have called them herself.
here's the deal. Kyle said on the reunion this past year that like if I want to go on a date here, I'm gonna do that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like she said that. So I don't really think it was inappropriate. And
Hmm.
I think that Kyle should have just in that moment been like, oh, Garcelle, like I am not, I hope that it didn't come off that I was claiming to be a lesbian. I just was saying that if I wanted to date a girl, I can. And if I wanted to date a guy, I can. And
Correct.
that's what I said at the reunion. I hope you don't think that. Like, why did she? That's the one thing about like the Hilton Richards kind of clan.
Mm,
Ladies,
ladies.
we all find out everything that happens in all your lives.
Yeah, everything.
Stop pretending that you're going to keep something in the vault. And also, like, it's not like she said, if Garcelle had said something about Morgan,
Mm,
I could see why Kyle would have been uncomfortable because clearly we see that Morgan doesn't want to be on the show. So like,
Clearly.
clearly it was weird. It was odd. Like it was
But
one of
Kesha
those like
does.
I was surprised she said it, but I also
Yeah.
didn't expect. I thought Kyle was gonna like laugh and be like, "Oh my
Yeah,
God,
no.
like
Yeah,
no,
no, she didn't. No,
no."
not at
And
all.
Erica and Sutton didn't make it any easier.
Not at all.
They should have
And
said
you know
something
what
too.
though? They still haven't filed for divorce. They might be
Yeah, we've
one of
talked
those
about this.
couples that never do. I mean, they may never do. When Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver got divorced, it took over 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if these two ever actually technically get divorced, it will take a long time.
Yeah, and I think that that's
Because I
why
think, they were together Christmas and stuff too in Aspen. And I
DJ will be
think
once when Portia goes to
to
college, but even
college,
not even just college, probably yeah, college will definitely be it, like the first test. But
I think where
the other thing
he's,
is their girls live so close and they work with Mauricio, and so
I
like
know,
they're Kyle is always in the picture because of that.
right.
And I think that Kyle truly is in a spiritual journey of like getting great shape. She's sober.
Yeah.
I don't think she's looking for anyone.
No, she's having fun with Morgan.
But I don't even think that might be true either. I think Kyle just was like, Morgan was safe. If Kyle's truly secure in her sexuality,
Yeah.
what is safer to someone who just got out of a relationship and isn't divorced than a lesbian? Like if she's
Well, that's the safest. Yeah. Yeah.
like
Without a
for
doubt.
you,
Yeah.
if you and your husband ever got divorced, a lesbian would be someone where you're like, well, I wouldn't have a rebound with her because I'm not a lesbian. Like, no, I'm just being serious. And it's like, like I can see it, but it was just weird how what was weird about Kyle, she didn't deny it. And then like it's just ongoing, like,
It's too much for me. I don't even
yeah,
care who she's sleeping with anymore. I could care less.
yeah.
Who's your mess?
My mess is honestly, it has to be Kyle this week, and that's because there wasn't
Ooh.
much messy moments. But I'll say that
Yeah, it was a quick
Kyle,
episode.
the vein thing, it was like
Yeah.
whatever. I think she could have been a little more like, Dorit, listen, calm down. Like, we've already crossed this bridge. I
Yeah.
told you I wasn't going to do it again. I'm not engaging with you. This is
No.
inappropriate at this point. You're taking
Yeah.
it too far. And then also,
And it should be Kyle
going to
for not.
Bose. She's
Yeah.
taking him with Bose. She couldn't just she couldn't have just laughed off the girl cell comments saying like so there was a few little messy droppings,
Yes.
but she wasn't a like disaster. So
No, but it should also be Kyle for not dressing in tennis gear at the
oh
tennis
yeah,
lesson. So she is the
exactly.
mess. All right.
Exactly. Bye.